Social Zoom Factor episode 192.
Driving results in business these days takes something special. It's a combination of the right info and the right energy. Pam Moore has both and is here to help you avoid the pitfalls and guide your business and life by leveraging and integrating social media, powerful branding, and digital marketing. Welcome to Social Zoom Factor. Now it's time to live life zoomed.
Does your current website or blog got you down? Do you need a better hosting platform to help your business zoom turbo versus speeds that are slow and holding you back? No need to look any further than our partner HostGator. Have an existing site? No worries. They can seamlessly transfer your existing site for free and have you zooming turbo in no time for as little as $4 a month. Check them out at HostGator.com and save 30% on new hosting packages using the coupon code ZOOM, or simply go to socialzoomfactor.com/HostGator. The Marketing Nuts Agency helps companies transform their social and digital business from the inside out. Visit their website at www.themarketingnutswithaz.com for a client list, case studies, and some amazing free resources to get you started down the path of success. Hey there, Zoomers, and welcome to Social Zoom Factor. This is your host, Pam Moore. All right, today we are talking about something completely different because it is the end of the year. We're headed into late December, and I can't believe how fast this year has went, first off. But we are getting ready, many of us, and gearing up for 2016. Some of us have been doing that for quite a while. So as we are headed into 2016, one of the questions we hear all the time is, Pam, Marketing Nuts, that's our agency, Marketing Nuts, what's happening in 2016? Where do you guys think we should focus? What should we do? So I thought I would put together a podcast today, and I'm going to share with you 12 of my predictions for digital and social marketing in 2016. Now, I haven't done a predictions blog post or any type of media since the end of 2013 for the year 2014. And I'll tell you, I went and looked back at that post, and most of the things I put in that prediction came absolutely true. Some of them are still being implemented by many brands today, but it definitely were some shifts that I had predicted were going to be happening. So I encourage you to check out that blog post. I will make sure I link to that, as well as loads of other resources that will be supporting this conversation today. I have podcasts and blog posts around many of these topics and things that will help you in 2016. And I will make sure to link to some of the best resources that I have on the show notes page and blog post for this episode. You can simply go to socialzoomfactor.com/192. And that is because this is episode 192. So let's go ahead and dig in and let's get started. So my first prediction is really important, and I want you to listen up here, friends. Many brands and marketers are going to waste loads of money, and I mean thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars based upon recommendations of agencies and consultants who are driving a personal agenda versus knowing how to do real integrated marketing. Now, all of these people doing this are not doing it on purpose to sabotage brands. It's just they are building their own brand, and they're building their own brand on a specific platform. So whether that be Instagram, whether that be Twitter, whether that be Facebook, whether that be Periscope, whether that be Meerkat, Facebook Live, whatever that may be. And they're pushing these technologies on brands, saying you must hop on this platform or you are not going to succeed in 2016, or you are not authentic, or you are not a human brand, or you are not ever going to see ROI. That is wrong, my friends. So you need to be really, really careful as you head into 2016. You need to plan your work and work your plan. You need to know your customer. You need to know what is working for you and your business. And you need to look at all of the different innovative technologies and platforms and social media communication mediums out there for you to communicate with your customers and figure out what is going to work best for you. Then you need to select a consultant or an agency or a third-party resource to help you in those areas. But my biggest recommendation to you is that you do your research, and that when you're talking to agencies or consultants, you talk to more than one, and you make sure that you are selecting tools, technology, strategies, and tactics that are going to support your business goals and the needs of your audience, period. My second prediction is that brands will be forced to understand the difference between earned, owned, and paid media. Okay, so if you've never understood what is earned media, what is paid media, what is owned media, 2016 is the year, my friends, that you need to figure that out. And I encourage you, if those words are new to you, or if you've heard them but you really don't understand or how to use the different forms of media, to check out my episode 138. And I put all of that in a nutshell for you. But bottom line, you need to be able to integrate earned, owned, and paid media. Okay, you need to know the difference between earned media and influencer marketing as well. My third prediction is that brands of all sizes are finally going to understand that it truly is a pay-to-play model when it comes to social media, when it comes to Facebook. And they are better off focusing on smart spend versus random acts of media. Okay, it's better to spend smart than to sit there continuing to hope and pray for organic reach on Facebook that just probably isn't going to happen for you. And yes, there are many things that you can do when it comes to organic reach on these platforms, and you need to understand that. But you need to also understand it's definitely moving to a pay-to-play model, and that's why you need to understand the different forms of media: earned, paid, and owned media as tops. All right. So make sure you do your research there. My fourth prediction is around influencer marketing. And I believe that 2016 will be the year that brands finally get serious and realize that it is a must for brands, for them to understand the art and the science of influencer marketing. And some brands have been doing this for quite a while. Some have been doing it very well. Some have been not doing it so well. Many brands have kind of been taking advantage of influencers and asking for a lot of favors, and where there's an agency involved and the agency is the only one benefiting from that. And the relationships are not being fostered with influencers, and they've actually damaged some relationships. And I believe that in 2016, that is going to come back to bite them. And the brands who have done it right, the brands who have invested in more than just a fancy event and a fancy party begging for tweets, the brands who have invested in relationships with influencers and have found value to truly deliver to that influencer, are going to win in 2016. So it's time, if you've been thinking about influencer marketing, it's truly time that you get serious about it, okay? And you realize that you may need to pay for some of the influencers' time and access to their community, because they've truly become the media, right? I get at least 5 to 10 requests a day for brands asking me to share content for them, for startups asking me to tweet about their app. I simply don't have time for that. And most of the influencers that are out there, they don't have time for that either. So you need to get in the head of influencers just as you do your customers, and you need to understand how they work. How are you going to provide value to them? How many other brands are trying to get their time and access to their community as well? And you may need to be ready to pay for that, all right? Because influencer marketing does not necessarily equal earned media. They're two different things. And I encourage you to check out my podcast on influencer marketing in a nutshell. And I did several others that will help you understand best practices for reaching out to influencers, working with them, and building true influencer marketing strategies and tactics that are going to help you drive real results. My fifth prediction is that content marketing is going to get even noisier. And I know this is something many people are saying. It's obvious. The writing is on the wall, right? We did a series in this podcast, the Social Zoom Factor podcast this year, titled You Are the Media. We all are the media, okay? We have the opportunity every single day to be the media. I have uber large platforms that are coming to me every day wanting me to share their content, wanting me to guest blog on their blog, wanting to guest blog on my blog. All right. So little brands, little people like me are becoming media that is competing with some of the big guys. All right. So don't look at that as negative. Look at that as exciting. Okay. Yes, it's noisier. Yes, it's going to be hard to break through the noise and stand out from the crowd, but just put your own strategy together. Get in the head of your audience. Know what makes them tick and make sure that you are focused on quality over quantity when it comes to content marketing, visual marketing, or anything digital or social. It's truly about quality over quantity. And I think many brands are going to waste a ton of money on more noise. So they're going to be focusing on quantity and they're going to be throwing more and more noise out there. They're going to be paying for paid media. They're going to be, stuffing it in your face. We're going to have all different types of advertising coming to us on mobile, on different platforms. When you're purchasing products, email marketing, you name it, but make sure that you're focused on quality. And I think many brands are obviously going to make the mistake also of chasing shiny objects. So they're going to jump on new platforms thinking that that's going to help them break through the noise, when in reality, it may just make them even noisier and it may not be that relevant to their audience. So my sixth prediction, this goes perfectly into this, is that the winning brands who break through the noise are going to do such because of an integrated strategy of knowing their audience and leveraging a combination of earned, owned, and paid media, inclusive of influencer marketing. All right. So I'll say that again. The winning brands who are going to break through the noise are going to do such because they have an integrated strategy. They're not afraid of integrated marketing. They know what it means to tie these things together. They know how to measure results. They don't need some fancy new tool that just came out for how to measure clicks or views or whatever is happening on Snapchat. They knew how to do integrated marketing before Mark Zuckerberg invented Facebook. All right. They know how to understand their audience. They know how to leverage a combination of different types of media. They know how to put a blog together and leverage that across the social web to build community, to build brand awareness. Okay. So if you want to break through the noise, you need to get integrated and you need to know your audience. You need to know what the heck you're doing around tools and technology and quit chasing shiny objects. All right. This is a perfect place for us to stop for a quick break. We need to hear a few words from our sponsors. I still have 6 more predictions that I know you're going to want to hear. Give our sponsors a quick listen because they are truly what makes this podcast go Zoom, and I will be right back. Would you like to get your business zooming turbo online, but don't know where to start? Is website development not your thing? Check out HostGator.com for all of your hosting needs. They have easy one-click WordPress installs or drag and drop website builders. If you need even more help, their website design, setup, SEO, and even managed services can have you zooming in no time. We have been hosting our own and client sites at HostGator for years, and I can personally validate that their service by far beats out their competition. With one little tweet, email, or chat conversation, they are there and ready to help you Zoom or resolve any issues that may come up 24/7, 365 days of the year. HostGator has the capacity to grow with you and scale when and how you need them to without headache or costing you a fortune. Check out HostGator.com today and save 30% on new hosting packages with coupon code ZOOM, or simply go to socialzoomfactor.com/HostGator. Again, that's socialzoomfactor.com/HostGator. Do you ever feel stuck in a rut, like your online business and social business isn't all that it could be? The Marketing Nuts Agency helps small businesses clear up to the Fortune 50 brands, provide clarity and vision for current and future programs. The Marketing Nuts believe in ROI-driven decision-making while still inspiring audiences with relevant content. From social business strategy and consultation influencer marketing to corporate training and workshops, and fully outsourced digital and social programs. The Marketing Nuts helps you prioritize your investment, impact business goals, and inspire your audience to invest in a relationship with you. To start the conversation, visit www.themarketingnutswithaz.com. All right, my seventh prediction is that Facebook will continue to reign, and many competitors are going to try to take them down, but in reality, I think they're only going to put a small nick in their side. It'll be more like a little kick to the shin where Facebook's like, what was that? Did somebody try to kick me? And I think they will continue to innovate with live video. They are going to continue to test new features on their different apps, and then they will bring them back to the primary platform after they have tested them and the market accepts and falls in love with them. That's my prediction. I think the way that they developed Facebook mentions, where they only offered that to celebrities, I predicted that from day one. I said, I know they're testing this, and if this works, they're going to bring it back into the full platform, because they can't roll out features like live video overnight for, a 1.5 billion user base. All right. So I think they're going to continue to innovate. I think the riches are in the niches for them. We're seeing them do a lot of things with different niches. You're seeing some of the activities and roadshows they did with small business. They are bringing influencers like Murray Smith on the road and others, and they're getting really, really focused around strategies and tactics and helping people and brands in specific niches succeed. Now, I do wish they would do more for agencies. I do wish they would reach out to us more and help us more. We're kind of left hanging out there chasing them all the time. So if I were to put together a list of things I want from Facebook, that would be one of the top, along with some additional insights. But there you have it. I think Facebook is going to continue to reign. My eighth prediction is that I think Snapchat, although it's doing great, I think it's still up for debate of how many brands are actually going to use it and truly rock real results using it. So I'm still not sold that it's for everyone. And I think in 2016, many are going to waste time on it unnecessarily. I think many brands are going to waste loads of time and money on Snapchat when their target demographic is simply not there. And this falls back into one of the first predictions I talked about on this podcast today, is that I think many marketers and agencies are going to be driving people to platforms that are not right for them. And Snapchat is one that is included. I'm on Snapchat and I use it mostly for fun. I mean, I connect with some people. My target audience is definitely not hanging out there. So for me to drive leads for my business, I own a marketing agency and we own several other platforms. Snapchat is not the way that I'm driving a lot of business for my agency. And there are many other platforms that deliver a higher ROI. So when you are thinking about new platforms, the thing you want to do is be able to rationalize it. All right. You need to chase the shiny objects when you think that's where you need to go, when the data is telling you that's where the market is going. And it is, to me, it's a balance of gut feeling and it's a balance of data, right? You know, if you know your audience, you know, without even looking at the data most of the time, whether that's going to work for them, whether they're moving to that platform. Of course, sometimes we're always wrong when we use our gut, but I'll tell you, mine is right at least 98% of the time. And so make sure you're doing your research before you're jumping ship from Facebook or some other platform to Snapchat. Make sure that is where your audience is hanging out. So that will be interesting, I think, to see where Snapchat lands this year. My ninth prediction is that video will be huge. And I know this isn't rocket science. Many other people in the industry, leaders in the industry, are predicting the same thing. But I think video is going to be really big. It has been big, right? So just because Periscope and Meerkat and Blab came on the scene, I mean, we've all been doing video for a long, long time. So brands must figure out now how to deliver relevant value and content like they've never had to do before with video. Because with apps like Periscope and Meerkat and Facebook Live and Facebook Mentions being launched, where we now have the ability to stream live video straight from an iPhone or an Android device, is changing the game. And what is it doing? It's making it way more noisy, okay? Because everybody is the media. So I predict that video is going to get both more raw and more formal. So I think brands are going to have to focus on some more formal video like they haven't had to do in a long time. And I've been a huge promoter of keeping video raw. And I still think there's an absolute place for that, for brands to be delivering raw content in the form of, back office things that are happening kind of behind the scenes or front row content at an event. But they must know their audience or else they're going to be wasting their time. So they need to focus on maybe it's some live TV style shows while at the same time delivering quick behind the scenes content. Okay. And I think apps such as Periscope and Meerkat are going to continue to fight it out. It's going to be a blast to watch and see what happens. It's going to be fun to see how they respond to Facebook Live once that goes live for the masses, and how many people jump ship from Periscope over to Facebook and how Periscope is able to maintain that user base. I think Blab will either get funding or be acquired or they're going to flop. I just do not see Blab surviving otherwise on its own. And I'd love to see maybe Google acquire Blab and integrate some of those features into Google Hangouts. I'm still a user of Google Hangouts. We did a big webinar last week with a client and we used Webinar Jam. We used Google Hangouts, right? And so it was a private meeting. We use other products like Zoom. And so there's still a lot of competitors, and you'll see a lot of the startups that are pushing some of these platforms, but these platforms still have a lot of bugs. Like Blab is not where it needs to be for me to be able to use it with my audience. I can't risk losing my audience with some, fluky type of bugs. So I think these apps are going to continue to fight it out. I think brands need to quit worrying about who's winning the fight. And I think they need to focus on relevant value, content, and building community with their audience, which is what we've been saying all along, I think, since the first day I entered the world of marketing. So it's nothing new, my friends. It's just different technology. So my 10th prediction is that communities will continue to be more formalized. Now, I predicted this also in 2013 for 2014, and it absolutely came true. Social media, business, and life are truly about people and community. And smart brands know it's not about followers or likes. It's about community. And so me and many of my colleagues have been preaching this for decades, long before Facebook and social media. It's not rocket science that we need to humanize our brands. It's not rocket science that we need to connect people together. That was not invented by Mark Zuckerberg. But I think what's going to happen in 2016, finally, brand leaders are going to understand that they need to focus on the infrastructure of building community. They need to be measuring how their community is responding to their content instead of just throwing social spaghetti content on the wall, social spaghetti community building, and throwing a Twitter chat together or a Hangout or a Blab and hoping it sticks and that they can get some increased brand awareness. And then they wonder at the end of the year why they have no ROI. So I believe that brands really need to focus on becoming more formalized when it comes to communities, and they need to truly invest time in there, similar to what I am predicting and recommending with influencer marketing. My 11th prediction is that visual marketing will continue to be huge, all right? But quality is going to become way more important than it ever has been, particularly if you want to stand out from the crowd, because we are all the media. We have all learned to create amazing visual marketing really quick and agile and in a dynamic, proactive way. So brands must learn to integrate emotional branding. We need to know our audience and we need to connect with them in a human, emotional way. We need to leverage video and visual to humanize our brand. And we are not going to be able to do that unless we know our audience. We're not going to be able to leverage video and and visual marketing and audio marketing in a way that enables us to truly connect with our audience and build community if we don't know who our audience is, right? And if you don't know your audience, I always tell you, go download our audience analysis worksheet. Go to socialzoomfactor.com/audience and it will help you put all of this in a nutshell and start to prioritize your audiences in 2016. Go check that out. If you were creating visuals in 2016, they must pop. They must be higher quality. They must be relevant. They must be contextual. They must be funny. They must be entertaining. They must be inspiring, empowering, educational. You're going to need to have relevance when it comes to your visuals. All right. My 12th prediction is that user experience is your brand. And I just recently did a podcast on this, so I encourage you to check it out. But many brands are going to get hammered in 2016 for having a terrible user experience. And I think as more and more consumers are coming online, they're learning that they can leverage social media such as Twitter and Instagram and Facebook to communicate with brands. They're complaining more. And so you can't get away now with having a terrible user experience. You can't get away with your shopping cart breaking or your app breaking or your desktop app breaking and causing a poor user experience. People are going to go shout about it. So it's time that brands fix their websites, fix their blogs, and overall experience once and for all. Otherwise, they're going to be left behind because we have platforms like Amazon. There are so many businesses that I no longer shop even in their brick and mortar, their physical stores anymore because I shop on Amazon. Products that I used to go to the mall on a Saturday afternoon just to go run to Sephora and then, I'd spend another $500 on who knows what else. Now I can order those same products on Sephora.com. So Ulta, as an example, doesn't get any more of my cosmetics investment anymore because I either buy it from Sephora.com or I buy it from Amazon. So there is thousands of dollars in a year that I'm no longer spending on any type of beauty products at many other stores. Okay. And I could go on and on of clothing and shoes and other things that I buy that I now buy online, and I buy from the brand that has the best user experience. And this brings in also omni-channel marketing. And I did a podcast not too long ago on omni-channel marketing in a nutshell. So I encourage you to check that out. I do a lot of keynote speaking and it's a topic I cover often. But omni-channel marketing will not be an option for many brands in 2016, but instead it's going to be a requirement for many retail and other brands. So you must focus on user experience. And mobile is already here. I didn't raise it as a prediction because it's already here. It's brands are making a huge mistake if you are not already paying attention and thinking mobile first. Okay. And that goes along with audio. You also need to be thinking about audio. And I wanted to narrow this down to 12 predictions today, but if I were to have a 13th, it would definitely be to look at audio. Okay. And why do you think I'm doing this podcast? Because I know my audience. My audience is busy. My audience does not have time to have screen time to watch me on video all day. But you know what they do have? They have time to listen to a podcast when they drive into work or when they drive home from work or when they're eating their breakfast or their lunch at their desk. They have time while they're multitasking, while they're at the gym or while they're doing dishes or while they're in the yard. I mean, the things that people have told me that they are doing while they're listening to this podcast, I just love hearing. So I'd love to hear your story too. But the benefit of audio with mobile, okay, is that it doesn't require screen time. I can be doing something else on my mobile device and still be listening to a podcast. I can still be listening to audio. When it comes to video, it doesn't work that way. These new platforms like Periscope and Blab and Meerkat and even Facebook Live, you have to be watching the video in order to be listening. And I hope that that's something that changes over the next 12 to 18 months where we don't have to be there. I hope that there will be an audio component to that I could still be listening to a live video feed while I'm doing something else, because video loses me a lot because I lead a busy life and I have a successful agency. And so for me, I can't watch video all day, right? I just can't. And I know many of my ideal customers can't as well. So there you have it. I gave you 12 predictions for digital and social media in 2016. I would love to hear your thoughts. So please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Pam Marketing Nut, PAMMKTGNUT, and just use the hashtag Social Zoom Factor. I'd love to know what your predictions are. And then we've also been talking about this topic on our Get Real chat every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time is when we meet. And we have a hashtag that we're using. It's Hot or Not Social 2016. So you can follow that as well. And I have a blog post coming out very soon with inputs from many leaders in the industry on what they think is hot and what they think is not hot in 2016. So thank you so much for your time today. I know that your time is limited, and I hope that this content has helped you think about 2016 and better put your strategies and tactics in a nutshell. That's a wrap.
If you're ready to zoom your business and zoom your life, then don't let the end of this episode be the end of your journey. Visit socialzoomfactor.com/Zoom for incredible free resources and guides. And be sure to join the Social Zoom Factor mailing list so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time on Social Zoom Factor.